Hi everyone, Celso Arding here alongside Shane. About £280 million were spent in January transfer by the Big Six, but spending money doesn't always mean you're gonna get a positive result. So Shane, how you feel about the January transfers?
I think it's a bit too early to see or to find out to get a good indication, but after what has played so far, you kind of see which players are fitting and which players haven't. I think it's going to be a while before, maybe next season we'll start realising, but I still think it's a bit too early. We're only in March and I don't think everybody's found the right system yet.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm gonna list a few players and you say hit or miss, fine?
Yeah, that's cool.
So Sanchez,
I think he's a miss so far, but I think he definitely will be a positive. Like, he's Mourinho, I don't think has found the right system where he fits in yet. But as soon as he does, because he's a world class player and he'll be around other world class players, he'll fit in straight away. But you realise great players that move in January, it takes them a while to fit in. So I think it will take a while before he does. But he still plays well, but he hasn't been the Sanchez of Arsenal.
yeah, 100% agree. How about Mkhitaryan?
I think Mkhitaryan, it's a difficult one because I actually think he's been a hit so far. But I think Wenger knows what he's paid for, and he's not going to give you more than what he's giving. You know, in the big games you go missing just like he did at Man United, but in the smaller games he'll take over, he'll dictate the game. And I think if that's what Arsenal wanted, they're going to get that. I think he'll give you that for the rest of his time. But if you want anything more, you ain't going to give it. But I think if we're looking at it for a long-term perspective, even a short-term one, I think he's a hit.
And Aubameyang missed a penalty like a couple days ago. How do you feel?
I think he's going to be a hit. He's a bit like Sanchez. I think it's going to take him a while to get used to the league. But he's definitely a good player. He's one of the best strikers in the world, so he will be a hit. But I think the bigger problem is with Arsenal, whether Arsenal are going to feed him enough, because he doesn't really get a lot of chances and there hasn't been a lot of service to him. But once he does, he will score a lot of goals.
So great to compare with Aubameyang, Giroud.
I think Drew, he's just gone from bench to bench, like from Arsenal's bench to Chelsea's bench. I don't even think Chelsea really wanted him, or even Conte wanted him, because I don't really think he knows what to do. And he's an impact player who comes off the bench. And the problem is Chelsea have Morata, and Morata's another impact player who I don't think is a first team player. So I think he's a straight miss.
So the most expensive defender, Van Dijk, playing for the sensational Liverpool.
100%, 100% hit. When he first came in, I knew he was going to be a hit. Like, people were wondering whether the fee was too much. Never. Like, we're in a window where big money will be spent, and he's a guy that gives confidence to Klopp and his other players. Like, he's been hit ridiculously. I think he's only conceded like 6 goals in the 10 games he's played, and they've kept 3 clean sheets, so he's been a hit.
And what about Batshuayi? He left Chelsea, he's not scoring goals, but now Borussia.
I think Chelsea had to get rid of him, but Borussia Dortmund doesn't really need him. Well, they needed him because they got rid of Aubameyang, but he's doing well. He's doing better than I thought he would. So good on Batshuayi. He's been a hit at Borussia Dortmund.
And Diego Costa, now he left Conte's Chelsea.
I think he had to leave Chelsea because Conte didn't really like him. But in terms of his involvement with Chelsea, I think Chelsea needed a striker like Costa. And I think from a Chelsea perspective, it's been a miss. But he's gone to Atletico Madrid and he's gone back to his top form. So he's definitely a hit for Atletico Madrid. He's a good player.
Right, and Lucas Moura, who was like bench in PSG, now he started playing some games at Tottenham.
I think that's a hit. Just a hit. He needed to move. He got his move, so it's a hit.
And Ross Barkley, how you feel?
Miss. There's nothing much to say. He's been on the bench. Miss.
Yeah, and the Coutinho, now Barca, playing alongside Iniesta, all world-class players.
I think that one is going to take a while before you be able to find out. He can't play in the Champions League, so that's one problem. And Barcelona's already won the league, so I don't really, for now I'm going to say a miss, only because he hasn't really needed to do anything.
Okay, so what teams you think benefited from like most benefited from the January transfers
I
from the
think
Big
we-
Six Premier League.
When you look at it, Liverpool's definitely benefited from. They've added a defender and they sold Coutinho for a lot of money, and it doesn't even look like they needed Coutinho. They're still scoring goals and they're defensively way better. They're way more confident. So Liverpool 100% have benefited. I think there's no negatives from what they did. They gained in 100 million and they still got 35 million from the deal. So I don't really see how anybody else could get close to what Liverpool's done. They've achieved a lot, and you can see it in their form. Their form's been very good.
Fair enough. And Manchester United, for me, like keeping hold of the hair was like rumors he's going to Madrid, but he stays. And then Sanchez came in, as you said, like kind of miss for now. But I think Man United's gonna be ahead, like next season. Maybe if Mourinho adjusts the team and all this. How you feel?
Yeah, I think Manchester United, they did well, but in terms of the hair, I think they got to worry more about getting him signed. And he needs to sign a new contract. But in terms of January transfer window, yeah, they did well as well. But I think
Holding the hair,
next
good
season, you'll see how good
yeah, sure.
that January transfer window was.
And Spurs, Lucas Moura give like a different game for them in it. Like they have Son, fast pace, and now Moura a little more depth in it. How do you feel?
He's got pace, and I felt like they had players like Ali and Ericsson who like the ball to feet. Kane like the ball to feet. They didn't really have much players that go behind the channel. Whereas I think Lucas Moura, like he gives you a different dynamic. Like Lamella's kind of different as well because he plays on the wing, but they like cutting in. Whereas Lucas Moura gets down to the byline, so back signing him is a definite good sign. They done well in the transfer window as well.
So I think you agree with me with that one. Like best team right now, Liverpool.
Yeah, definitely.
They definitely like
100%.
they not missing Coutinho so much in it.
No, not at all. They're still scoring goals. Like they're still the top goal scoring team in the league. So, yeah.
So let's talk now about the fails about this January transfers. Chelsea.
I think when you look at it, they had no organisation. Like they went into the January transfer window very reactive. Like they didn't know who they wanted to buy, who they wanted to sell, and then all of a sudden they just started buying panic people. Like they were linked to Peter Crouch and Barnes and all of these players, and you're thinking it's not really Chelsea players. Whereas they did get Giroud, but I feel that was another panic buy. And then you had players like Barkley, and that's just a joke. I don't even think they even needed him. I don't even think he's played like a game for them. So I think they were dreadful. They were embarrassing.
Yeah, so Arsenal, they did win yesterday against Milan, but it's kind of miss. They didn't buy a defender, they don't have a goalkeeper that can like stop conceding goals. Yeah. And they sold the two top goal scorers and like kind of tried to replace with Aubameyang, but a miss, as you said.
Yeah, like that's a difficult one because I think Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan will work out, but it's gonna take a while. And I think big teams don't sell big players. You see what I mean? They don't sell big players.
Yeah.
They big teams they want to get as much big players to play with the big players they already have.
Yeah.
So I think that's
a fail.
That's a fail. They weren't as bad as Chelsea in my eyes. I don't think because Chelsea were embarrassing. Like they were shocking, but Arsenal were bad as well.
Yeah, for me, like shocking was Aubameyang. I thought he would be scoring more goals right now. So Giroud goes out. He was like top scorer at Arsenal now. Aubameyang trying to, but not that much in it.
It's a bit of a bad one.
Yeah. So players who were linked but didn't move, such as William, Chelsea.
I think before the January transfer window he should have left, but he's turned my whole entire opinion around. Like I was thinking, Conte don't really like him. He ain't really getting a lot of game time, and he's a world class player. But it seems like Conte wants to keep him now. I think before he should have left, but now he should definitely use a right decision for him to stay.
Again with Chelsea, David Luiz, World Cup coming up.
Should have left.
Yeah, he wanna kind of have some more game time.
Yeah, definitely. You would be able to speak more than me because you know how difficult it is to get into the Brazilian team. So, but they got some good players in Brazil.
Yeah, we got like Thiago Silva, Marquinhos. These players are like eager to start the World Cup coming up. Like we have some good players we expect to win. Anyway, David Luiz must be playing anywhere but Chelsea right now, I guess.
He should have left.
Now Luke Shaw from Man U, you think should have left?
I think Luke Shaw is a bit confused. I think he should have left, but Mourinho has handled the situation very well.
Sure.
I think he's basically said that Luke Shaw is his best defender. He said it many times, but he still consistently plays Ashley Young. And I think for Luke Shaw's progression, he has to go back to a club where he's going to get consistent football. And I don't think he's going to get that at Man United. But at the same time, I still think there's no big clubs that want him. So he might have to go down maybe a mediocre mid-table side to get some first-team football. And I don't know whether Luke Shaw will be willing to do that. So
For me, it feels like Mourinho don't trust him. I think he don't have like the trust back there, and Man U's not like in a perfect spot right now. So Mourinho's mind is playing like who he trusts.
yeah, I think you're 100% right. I think he doesn't want to take risks, and I think Luke Shaw, he feels he's going to be a risk, so he'd rather just go with what he knows instead of taking a risk. And as you said, we're like Manchester United ain't really in the best position in terms of progression, especially defensively, because they still have their question marks on who needs to play where.
Yeah, and Company, people said they were like he was finished. He'll bounce back from the Carabao Cup, scoring goals, shooting, and defending like perfect. Company feels like he's ready for the World Cup.
He was a person I thought wasn't going to get much. He wasn't going to get much game time at City, but he did. So he's starting to get game time. So with him, I was thinking he should have left because I didn't think he was in Pep's plans. But now he looks good.
Yeah, he was man of the match in the Carabao Cup, innit?
Yeah, definitely.
So Yaya Toure is kind of old, played for Barcelona.
He should have
Messi's
left.
starting career.
Yeah, he should have left.
Now
He should have left.
getting a bit old for playing the Premier League.
Should have left. Definitely should have left.
And Emre Can. I don't think, like for me personally, I don't think he fits the Liverpool team right now. I think he's kind of like
As soon as they start getting good players in, the players that they want, he will be bench, and I don't think he wants to be on the bench.
yeah. And likes of Danny Rose for Hotspur.
It's up to him. He's the best left back in the country, and he needs to find his form. If he wants to stay at Spurs, he needs to start playing games. So it's up to him. Whether he should have left, I think he should have stayed because that's the best place for him. But it's up to him. If he doesn't want to give it 100%, he's going to be on the bench at Spurs. He needs to start showing the form he showed last season.
Okay, so to finish it, to wrap it up, grade a top 6 out of 10 in this January transfers. I'll start with Man City. I don't think we can grade them because they didn't do much in the January transfer, but they doesn't even need to.
They don't really need to, so I don't really think we can give Man City a grade. But United, what would you grade United out of 10?
Maybe a 6, I guess, because I think, as you said, Sanchez is gonna be a hit. Right now, it's a 6 because good moves keeping De Gea, but I think they're gonna be they must be better.
Yeah, I agree. I would give a 6 as well, 6-5.
And Liverpool,
9 or 10.
why 9?
Because they needed to get a goalie. If they got a goalie, it would be 10 out of 10. But I still think people like the goalkeeper they have now, like Nick Karius and Lovren, they're starting to play better because now they actually have a leader in Van Dijk next to him. So I don't even think the problems that they had before are as big of problems. So I'll still give them a very high score because of what they've done.
Yeah, and Tottenham, I think they played very good against Juve. They lost in the end, but I think the transfers were very good in it.
I don't think they really needed to do much. So they got in a winger, and I don't think they need to bring in any more players. I think they just
defense just perfect.
It's a young squad, so they just need to grow up a bit. So I think I'll grade them at 7 or 6 out of 10. They've done decent in the January transfer window.
Now the two worst clubs for me, Chelsea and Arsenal. I'll rate Chelsea 3, I guess.
I rate Chelsea 2. I think they were dreadful. I think they were embarrassing. This is Chelsea, one of the biggest clubs in England, and they were embarrassing. They didn't even, at times, it was like they picked a name out of their hat who they were going to buy, and they didn't really have much of an idea. So, yeah.
No, for me, Arsenal is the big L. The January transfers, I'll rate him like 1, I guess. Now, Aubameyang's not scoring. They get rid of Giroud. And I think players, they don't have like the motivation to play. And this transfer is like, you can't get any better than it.
Yeah, they get low. They will get like a 2. They sold Sanchez for free. They sold Giroud. They brought in Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan. They didn't buy a defender or goalie or even a midfielder. So yeah, they get a 2 or 1.
So that finished this program. Thank you all for watching, and we'll catch up later.